Hello and welcome to this best of 3 series between Attackspeedenjoyer and Enticity. It is currently 1-1 between them. Be sure to like and subscribe for more games and let's get into it. So, this is quite the standoff for game 3. It is a flat map that basically has a relatively big area that you can just go into, that you can fight in. And both players start off with a big cav index. We see quad Wild Riders here, which is, again, Wild Rider is one of the best units in the game when it comes to cav. They have 20% Fizz Res. They have charge bonuses, which are insane. They just look pretty cool. But I do hate them. I hate playing against stuff like Wild Riders, man. They just wreck you so hard. 68 charge bonus and 44 melee attack with Frenzy. It just makes them absolutely insane. Other than this, we see a indexing into Deepwood Scouts. So he's going to Deepwood Scouts with Shiver Shards and just one Dryad, alongside the Spellweaver of Dark being on foot. Oh no, never mind, on a horse, with the spells Blade Wind to clear out some blobs and Doombolt to potentially snipe the opponent's caster. Though, when it comes to sniping the opponent's caster, or Lord, it is a bit difficult because Norsca just has the cheapest freaking Lord in existence, right? This guy with 2 spells in Horse is less than 1,000. He's like 900, which is insane when you think about it compared to like most other Lords. So the Norscan DLC giving the side of Norsca just a caster Lord that is so cheap is such a big buff to them. And when it comes to the army of Enticity, this is like the most Enticity army that we have seen ever. Like, again, like in game 1, we don't see a single infantry unit, just quad Warhounds, quad Ice Wolves, quad Warhounds, double Skin Wolf, Dreadmaw, and then triple Skin Wolf, pardon, Dreadmaw, and then, where does he fit all of this mobility into what pocket, man? Then a Great Shaman Sorcerer of Fire with Flaming Sword. Flaming Sword basically gives you an area of effect imbuement of fire and magical damage, which basically goes against everything that the Wild Riders stand for, which is physical resistance and very low melee defense and very low armor. So that is a great spell. And other than that, Burning Head, just to cook them archers, which again makes sense. So another summon of the Dryads from the side of the attack speed, and this is very ballsy from the side of Ent, going and basically saying, I'm going to play your main faction with Norscan mobility and I'm going to outplay you, right? Because attack speed's main faction is Wood Elves. So him going and saying, I'll beat your Wood Elves on this map with just mobility is definitely quite ballsy. He should not charge those Norscan Ice Wolves, because that's a bait from the Skin Wolves to basically charge in the back. But him starting with 4 Wild Riders basically means that he can do stuff like this, because he does have the support to do everything. And Quad Swift Shiver Shard, very strong, very strong. He's gonna... Oh, this game is gonna be super quick, man. Like, insta-kill on the side of the Norscan Ice Wolves. Skin Wolves basically being shot at by the quad Deepwood Scouts. But look at this. Look at the huge amount of surround that is coming into the Swift Shiver Shards. He's going to have a problem in his backline very quickly. And if he didn't index to defeat this side, he would have had a different type of problem. Very nice shot, very nice charge with the Wild Riders into both of the Norscan Ice Wolves and Warhounds, and very good cooking Burning Head going through one of the Deepwood Scouts, though their loose formation does actually stop them from taking too much damage from it. Another Flaming Sword of Ruin overcasted into here, but the problem is that this unit is already routed and the other Skin Wolf is basically just fighting Dryads as well as Wild Riders. The backline is compromised by Kurgan Horsemen, which does take at least one of the Deepwood Scouts offline alongside of the Dreadmaw. And if the Dryads don't peel for... Norscan Ice Wolves actually break, that's so unfortunate. If they kept up on the Deepwood Scouts, they could have potentially done something. Kurgan Horsemen also breaking... Oh no, it is kind of collapsing for the side of Ent's Pincer or Vanguard try. And just Dryads being spammed in This is a very good start from the side of attack speed, just indexing into the quad Wild Rider at the start, so that he does have enough stuff to defend himself from Ent's mobility core. Kurgan Horseman basically being trumped, one Wild Rider unit we see already dead, and the problem with this is, even though these units are tattered, they will regen at some point, but they need some time to regen, and every single second that attack speed has more time to summon in more Wild Riders, that is a bad thing for Ensight. He is now currently just farming the worm with the deep tunneling thing, and oh no, the worm is actually getting focused. I don't even know that you want to focus the worm. The worm is kind of useless here. You just ignore him and kill all of the other mobility, because he can just stand in one spot. And ooh, if Ent doesn't actually notice that the worm is getting destroyed here, one more volley into the worm could potentially kill him. Oh, he goes underground. Does he break? Oh no, he breaks! He actually gets the recharge, the damage done to break the actual worm. That is so unfortunate for Ant. Now he even lost the worm. If he had not lost the worm, he could have still kept like harassing these Deepwood scouts. And Swift Shiver Shards basically being in here with such high DPS is such a good thing. Also, not being able to be supported by the Great Shaman of Fire is basically killing Ant here. And even though he's triple capping the opponent right now, there is no way that this core is going to fight off the Deepwood Scouts. Deepwood Scouts triple or quad, all of them actually lived. Even this one, 20 models still living, crazy at such low HP. And I think Attack Speed actually has this game, because he dealt with most of the mobility core from the side of End. He just has one Skin Wolf and a couple of Kurgan Horsemen and tattered Warhounds, basically going into Dryads. Picking off these Dryads is a good play, especially because the Deepwood Scouts are occupied doing something and supporting something else. But with Attack Speed getting this objective now, he already has the top objective. It wasn't a triple cap, I lied. So him not having a triple cap and then putting on basic pressure in that way is definitely a problem. And I believe that Attack Speed is just saving up for like the Wild Hunters of Kurnos. Oh, the nasty Burning Head just actually cooked a few Deepwood Scouts on its way out. Very nice. And yeah, this looks like it's kind of over, especially with the Kurgan Horsemen being dead. The Skinwolves are trying to just chill out a bit and get to their healing cap with the healing, but I don't know if it's going to be enough, honestly. If there is just one summon, what did Blood summon? So he summoned the Wild Hunters of Kurnos as we expected. Again, these guys are insane. Magic damage, anti-attack, anti-large, and armor piercing. So even if the Skinwolves were the armored version, they would just destroy them. And now Attack Speed just has all of the time in the world to continue doing trades. This is a potential problem, though. Him going into the backline of his opponent is, one, he has the support of the Great Shaman. Two, being unsupported himself over here from the archers can be a potential problem, because if he loses both of the Wild Riders to somehow to his opponent, then he doesn't have mobility advantage anymore. Though, again, Wild Hunters of Kurnos coming over here, basically destroying these Norsca Ice Wolves. Man, what a fast-paced and close game. Ent is climbing back a bit in value and is now surrounding the Wild Hunters of Kurnos. But even with this like double surround, these are just Norsca Ice Wolves. And, well, pardon, Warhounds. Like, they're just going to turn around and absolutely destroy the Warhounds. Especially with support of an extra Wild Rider to the side. Like, this just isn't enough. He needed Norscan Ice Wolves specifically if he wanted like a full surround and actually being able to kill these units. And we saw so many good... Oh, we see Heirs of Kurnos going sniper mode. So they're basically playing Sniper Elite from the other side of the map and trying to finish off the Great Shaman. Great Shaman is relatively close to the edge of the map, so another Hunter of Kurnos will actually kill him, in at least breaking him, and then he will run off the map, and that is basically the end of the game. On the other side, Ent still waiting and trying to consolidate his forces, trying to heal up as much as he can when it comes to his units before he does the final hoorah try. And again, summoning in just Norscan Ice Wolves, trying to contest the mobility. The lower the Wild Hunters get the more chance he has to actually fight here. And yeah, attack speed definitely is overextending over here because he's not in the full range of his Deepwood scouts. And he is closer to his opponent's side of the map than he is to his side, which means that the reinforcements are just going to be coming closer and closer. And also these guys are out of ammo, so he needs to recharge, just charge them into the Norsca Ice Wolves to eat the charge. On the other side, Glade Riders basically tar pitting 3 units. This is a good play, especially with him taking the middle objective, so he's no longer in that much of a hurry. But Ant is kind of climbing back, honestly. If the Great Shaman dies, that can be a problem, though. Like, what is the cooldown? Like 90 seconds. The next arrow of Kurnos is literally right now off of cooldown. Oh no! 37 HP. He's gonna break. He's gonna shatter. He's gonna run off the map. Him running off the map. Basically, Ant tried to charge something to get him like the bonus 16 or 15. But if he runs off the map, everything falls for Ant. That is so unfortunate. That is such a good summon also from like a Waystalker, because Ant thought that his unit was basically safe. His lord was safe. But attack speed says, I am the sniper, I am going to kill everything. And now you can look at all of the units just wavering instantly when the Lord just goes off the battlefield. It's just Dryads for days. Wild Riders are going to instantly kill these Norscan Ice Wolves. The Ice Wolves here and the Kurgan Horsemen are just basically not going to rally. And it does seem very, very difficult, especially with this Dryad summon going with the Glade Riders onto the third objective. That is going to put more pressure onto Ant to basically do something about it. And even though he can potentially summon the Lord quite quickly, he needs to go back into the pool. So, and that is again 900 that he's not spending on Ice Wolves, on Skilled Wolves, on Warhounds to contest the mobility. He even did kind of win the mobility because the Deepwood Scouts are kind of out of ammo. And we just don't see Wild Hunters of Kurnos are basically dead. We just see one Wild Rider unit, but that one Wild Rider unit is so scary to these Warhounds that they shit themselves and just say, "Oh, nope, we're shattered. We're gonna run off the battlefield." And that is a 2-1 victory for attack speed. What a series, man! Such a close game too. Like if Ant didn't lose his lord, I feel like he could have potentially turned it around. Also, like him losing the worm, it was so unfortunate. That one extra volley, basically getting the worm to crack, is such a good play from attack speed. I honestly did not expect it to break, even with the amount of HP that it did have at that point. But yeah, it's kind of like just bait to try and kill the worm most of the time. Most of the time you just basically ignore it because there's not much that you can interact with it unless it's like just popped out and you know it doesn't have deep tunneling. So it's like 20 seconds of it being free real estate to be killed. Let's check out the value in this crazy game. So it was just basically 650. This was the Doom Bolts that were going out onto the Lord. And the Dryads, oh my god, look at that beautiful value on the Deepwood Scouts. This was the one that was crumped at the start, but they still had 20 models and fought well. The other Wild Riders, even though some of them didn't pay for themselves, they did their job. He indexed properly into 4 Wild Riders at the start of the game. This was very well planned from the side of attack speed to stop the mass mobility. If he didn't have all 4 of those Wild Riders, this game instantly flips to Ant's side. Waystalker being an MVP sniper at the end there, and yeah, basically killing the Lord to make it official that he wins. And the Hawkeyes of Jokira are a great later game summon, because when everything is tattered and low on leadership, these guys actually apply the minus 16 from, I don't know what the debuff is called, but the debuff when they shoot into you, they just debuff your leadership. And that is crazy into especially stuff like Norsca. Anything that they hit is going to instantly fold. Yeah, very well played. When it comes to the Great Shaman, very nice Burning Heads, a very nice Flaming Swords of Ruin. They basically potentially could have carried the game if there was more space for it. And man, what great play from the Ice Wolves, from the Warhounds. Look at this, 800 on a Warhound, 800 on a Warhound. That is money to see. Same thing with the Norsca Ice Wolves. Ant is just so good at micro that you can never count him out when it comes to a game. Kurgans, they weren't the best, but they didn't have proper targets, honestly. Same thing. He basically, oh my god, he went 8 Kurgans. He just, again, 0 infantry army, please. Yes, please. And there's not many players that can micro this type of stuff. So very props to Enticity. Thanks for joining the league, and hopefully see him in the next one as well. 2-1 to attack speed, and I'll see you guys in the next series. Be sure to like and subscribe. These were some amazing games.